Hello everybody, welcome back to How to Build a B-1 Bomber. I have my alignment sticks, that's what I want to call them, glued onto my fuselage right over that seam. And now there's not very much of a gap there, but there is a little bit. And if that gap is not filled, we will have a bad seam. It'll crack, you'll always have problems with it. So how are we going to fix that? My mixture of epoxy and baking soda in the pastry bag, and I'm going to go in there and do that from the inside. But I want to show you guys how this turned out. I just sanded that with that dot coat. I hit it real quick, hit the corners or the edges, and filled it once. That looks good. And I'll get that primed. We'll never know it was there. Well, now let's go around this side. Had to take my wheels off my table. Get that thing lowered down a little bit so I can get inside there and work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here with my pastry bag. Right here. And plus, if I don't fill that seam, when I get in here and I paint that resin on with my paintbrush, resin will just go on the outside and go everywhere and just make a mess. But ain't no need for that. I'll just squirt me a really fine bead on there. Where I cut it along the bottom, along that bottom seam. Now, I'm going here on this top seam. You don't really want to push it to where it oozes out the other side a whole bunch. You just kind of want to bounce the tip along the seam. And we could smooth it out with our paintbrush and epoxy. So let's not even worry about getting that real pretty. Now, we come in here with some resin. And you don't want to push real hard or try and get every little bit of resin out of that brush, you know. So I just want to put it on heavy. It'll soak into our fiberglass tape. We want a really good adhesion. On that bottom, I'm just going to run that tape right past that seam, and I'm going to go into here a little bit because I was not able to get in there when we was putting our molds together. So I'm going to get in, go that way a little bit, and up on our seam. Okie dokie. Now let's take some fiberglass tape on my scissors. And we'll get us kind of a rough idea how long we run, about that long. Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Now we don't need quite so much resin. Use a brush. Well, I got in here with my Dotco. I sanded that seam, the old seam, really well, the old seam tape. So it'd make sure and get a good stick. Good bond. Okay, now we go on the top. So we're right there. Not that long. There we go. That worked really well. Now, that's all for that, people. Let me get this camera out of here. Can't see in there really very well, but it's fixed. On this side, see, I didn't push too hard, and I just got a little bit of my white stuff just barely coming out. That's exactly how I want it. Same way here. And then I'll just sand that off. Oh, I gotta let the doggies out. Come on, guys. Let's go party. Okay. That's that. Now, I about got this done, people. I'm gonna fix that seam and put some more primer up these other spots I hit, and I'm gonna put that aside. I got my stab out. What I'm gonna do here is I'll put my leading and trailing edge on and my wing tip. But it's got a little bend in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use 1/8" sheeting. I'm coming here and sand that nice and flat and straight. Use my big sander. Then I'm gonna put epoxy, one layer of my 1/8" on. And when that first layer of epoxy sets up, then I go back and put my other layers on with CA, and that won't take very long at all. I'll get that done today and get that sanded and break out the rudder. But I got my F-16 canopy yesterday, or the other. You guys want to see it? Got it all installed. It looks pretty good. Come on, I'll show you. I got it in the house. Got it out of the way. I have to excuse it. The house is kind of messy. I'm going to keep these towels here to wipe my feet on when I come out of the shop. Guess where they lead? Right to the refrigerator. Okay, there is the F-16. I got the wings on it, and got all the missiles on it, and got the cockpit installed. And man, it looks good. This cockpit came from Camlax. It's their Wingman Jet Legend series, and he looks pretty good. The dash and the cockpit's even got the stick in his hand, and it looks pretty good. So I got the dash. And if I was going to make the canopy open, I wouldn't have did this, but I put the dash, I just took my hot glue gun and fastened the dash to this canopy piece so I wouldn't have to worry about it all the time. And there I got my switches, my air valves, and my propane to start it. I made all in that nice little box. You know them lights for my turbine? Actually poke through the bottom. Right there, them little 3 lights. So when my turbine is running, when it goes into the starting mode, you know it flashes and they show up really good in there. And then when the turbine's just in running mode, it's got a green light and it makes everything show up really good. I sure like that. That just turned out perfect. You see them little lights right there? It just worked out perfect. And I knew I was going to do that because this is the tub that came with it. And when I was building that box, I kind of figured they'd send the same tub. And you can see they stick in the bottom right there. And so I'm done with that one. Now that my good one got here, and it just goes right there. And I can get to my filler valves, my switches, my voltage regulator pins, and I just get to everything right there. Still fired up. Oh, here's my radio. Just put one of them pins. I'll show you them lights. How it makes it light up. Can you see it down there? Lights up at his feet. That's because it's in starting mode and they're going across. When the turbine's just lit and running, just that green one will illuminate, and it kind of illuminates that whole floorboard. It makes it look pretty good when this is on there, especially because it kind of darkens that shadow a little bit and illuminates it pretty well. But man, he sure looks good. Camlax.com, people. Camlax-rc.com, and they'll get you one too. And he looks pretty good. Actually, there's the ejection seat. You don't want to pull that, people. And it looks pretty good. Let me get this thing fired up. Sit down. Feed into my voltage regulator, kill the power, power down. And it's ready to roll. It's got that P200, people. Oh, hey, and Butch just posted a video. You know my buddy Butch. He posted a video of a P200 flying in another jet, and he's going to put it on one of my movies. Probably one of the later ones I made. So you guys want to see one of these P200s go, click on it, and you'll see it in action. That thing is going to be just fast, and I can't wait to fly it. And as soon as it warms up outside, it's cold out. We get a nice day. We're going to the flying field, taking the jet, taking my video camera.